So it's time for X-Files Episode 5. This is a new sub-story, I suppose, and it's called Pierced. Dexler and Fulton's allegiances are tested as the mysterious Pierce Institute exerts its influence, and Dexler is contacted by an anonymous informant with cryptic intel to share. So let's play. Had a massive hard drive crash recently, but it's all good. It feels good to have the day off. I got to sleep in, veg out to some TV, do laundry, and now I'm out for beers with my favorite person, Caitlin Martz. I tell her about the Martin Sneberg case, the explosive gelation, Sneberg's history, and the victims. She's impressed by how we captured Sneberg without any further deaths. I tell her how A.D. Skinner chewed us out for our mistakes. I don't tell her about the bowling balls, the hack, or the magic bullets. I skip a lot of the story, which works out fine because Caitlin's clearly having a hard time with what I do tell her. Okay, Jess, so let me see if I understand this. A kid was put through aggressive chemo and cryotherapies, and it's not only cured him of his cancer, but it also gave him the power to flash freeze people's insides so they explode? This is what you're saying. Yes, or I only know what I saw, or I'm not crazy. No one really knows what caused what. There's no biological indication the killer was abnormal. All I can tell you is what I know from his history and what I witnessed for myself. I can't explain it. I guess that's fair. Still, I don't get it, you know? If the X-Files stuff is real, why don't we hear about it on the news or read about it in science blogs? You do hear about some of it, right? But it's competing with the noise. Hoaxes, conspiracy theories, cat videos. And anyway, everyone's skeptical of normal news now, so forget the guy who sounds like he's from a superhero movie. More like supernatural horror, but I get your point. I do. It's just a lot to take in. I mean, you saw bodies, innocent people literally torn apart. How are you carrying that? Fine, it's the job. Or, it's worth the end result. Or, not well. This girl's crazy. I knew coming in I'd be seeing things I'd rather not see. Not like it's wonderful or anything, but... Yeah, I figured you were made of tougher stuff the first time I tried to outdrink you. Did you really try, though? I felt like that was a gimme. Hey, I'm no lightweight. You just made some kind of deal with the devil that lets you put him away. Dexler family genes, I guess. It's a good thing, since I've been downing more than my share after that case. Say what you want about records, maintenance, but it's by the numbers, and I go home stress-free. Sounds pretty boring. It is boring. Hope a spot opens up in counter-terror analysis, or I'll have to settle for my second pick. I'd suggest a transfer to the X-Files so you could see it for yourself, but we're staffed at capacity. Imagine us being partners. Greatest clearance rate in the history of the Barrow. How is it with the guy they paired you with? Working out okay, or... It's going well, or too soon to say. We'll see. He's odd. It's going well. Yeah, definitely. We've got a kind of rhythm going. Seem to have each other's backs. Well, it's early days still. I'm sure you'll mess it up somehow. Caitlin smirks her double smirk, so I give her my piercing eyes of death. No, it's good. I'm glad. I'm sure it could have easily been a giant disaster. Oh, for sure. I'm especially grateful because obviously I'm not going anywhere, and I doubt he is either. I mean, he's got the killer to surrender just by talking to him. Plus, he's insulated. He's got serious backing. More serious than your buddy, Senator Knudsen? His guy, Gregory Pierce? He used to run behavioral sciences, so who's to say how much juice he's got? Probably a lot. Caitlin starts picking at her bottom lip. I knew from late night cramming what that means. Okay, something isn't making sense to you. Spill it, woman. It's Just from this case, the pairing two rookies thing, and now Knudsen and Pierce. Sounds to me like things are kind of a mess over there under your assistant director, Skinner, right? Could be bad, but it could be an opportunity for someone to step up, get things in order. Hint, hint. It would be nice, or whoa, one step at a time, or I don't want Skinner's job. I signed up for the X-Files to explore what's out there, not to babysit. Well, sure, but you don't have to have Skinner's job. I'm saying you could be in a position to influence him. But what do I know? I'm a glorified desk jockey. Are you all that glorified, though? Okay, that means the next pitcher's on you. I head out the bar while I'm waiting for our third pitcher. I think about what Caitlin said. How will things shake out with Skinner and the hack? Probably not great. What with the magic bullets downloading copies of the X-Files? What do I want my role to be? And what might Fulton do about that? Special Agent Aaron Fulton. You've been staring at a picture of your family for at least an hour. The dead Fultons and you in normal times. It's not your family you've been thinking of, though. It's that family in Philadelphia, blown to shreds in every way by Martin Sneberg Jr. You wonder what Dexler's family is like. You've never asked, and she's never mentioned them. Stacy settles in next to you on the sofa and nuzzles your shoulder, sharing your view of the photograph. She smells like soap and calm. Told me to tell you when you're doing it, Aaron. You're doing it. Yeah, zoning out. It's work stuff. I know you don't want to talk about it. That's cool. Anything about it you want to talk around? Getting justice. Or the killer was a shut-in. Or, no, it's okay. I'll work it out. I know you will. She kisses your temple. Oh, Stacy Cohen. How did you get so lucky as to have her want to be with you? Hey, when's the last time you saw Dr. Hill? You think about your therapist and feel like a fool. You've been neglecting him. It's been too long. I should look him up. Meanwhile, since I'm done writing for the night and you can sleep in tomorrow, how about a date? There's a chillwave act playing at my bar tonight. Or, you know, what we've never done together? Gone bowling. Electronic music it is, or let's go bowling, or how about the bedroom? Anything but bowling. I hate bowling. Tell you what, you pick what we do tonight so long as it's not bowling. I wanted to kick your butt. Let's go get us some live music then. It turns out to be a great show. Soft synths and blips, understated beats, and a violinist who plucks and strokes with heart-tugging beauty. You listen from a corner table, Stacy's chair pulled up close to yours. She holds your hand, commenting with her lips to your ear. Going home, you decide to sleep at her place, since it's closest and because you love the way her sheets smell so clean. What are you doing on your sheets, Aaron? With her lying against you, head on your chest, you almost don't want to go to sleep, but you do, and you sleep well. The next morning, you see a text from Pierce. He'd like you to come by. You have other priorities. You call a couple of homeless shelters and are fortunate to quickly find the whereabouts of Dr. Hill. You set up a meeting at a park near him. Dr. Hill slowly savors the curry you brought him. He looks healthy. This is delightful, thank you. You're my favorite patient, Aaron. Does that mean you've started taking on other patients? Goodness, no, but that doesn't diminish my appreciation of you. Dr. Hill smiles, returning to his food. You've often thought it should feel strange that a homeless man is your therapist, yet it doesn't. It certainly isn't something you ever would have considered when you first met him, when he was alone and bleeding to death on the sidewalk. Oh, let's see that. Like so many of your ideals, that night from before the academy is easy to relive. You've been wallowing in it for weeks. Misery, regret, and self-loathing. Missing your family. Hours upon hours, lying motionless on your bed, sitting stoic and mindless on your sofa. You've had enough, so you rush outside to walk, not caring that it's after 3 in the morning. You walk for more than an hour, your dad's favorite sweatshirt your only protection from the cold. Eventually, you see another person, a man in old, tattered clothes. The man face down the sidewalk. Another man, bundled in layers, runs from him with a grocery cart full of junk. Check on the prone man. You hurry over to the man. The first thing you notice is a foul stench. Oof. Then you see a growing pool of blood beneath him. Yuck. Sir, are you all right? You start to pick the man up by the shoulder and see he's bleeding from the abdomen, stabbed. You think to call for an ambulance, but realize you left your phone at home. No payphones nearby. You help him to his feet. Not only is he bleeding, he's shivering from the cold. He needs warmth. Give him your dad's sweatshirt. Protect the sweatshirt by taking it off. You quickly take off the sweatshirt and manage to get it on the man despite his confusion. You get the man's arm around you as you try to think of the nearest hospital. You help him walk quickly. Keep your hand on the wound, okay? Pressure. Put pressure on it. He's mumbling incoherently. You hear things like, nothing, and but can't make sense of it. Blood trails behind you. After what feels like an eternity, you finally reach a hospital. Doctors meet you in the emergency room and load the man onto a cart. One asks if you're okay. You explain that you are, that it isn't your blood. You wash up in the restroom. There's blood all over your clothes and your dad's sweater. After you wait for a while, a doctor tells you the man is stable. Without your intervention, he surely would have bled to death. The sun appears above the horizon as you step outside and hail a cab home. Once there, you take a shower and throw your clothes in the laundry. You're exhausted. You sleep better than you have in some time. In the early evening, as soon as you're awake, you drive back to the hospital to check on the man. They let you see him. His name's Bennett Hill. It's you. Why don't you come in? Have a seat. How are you feeling? Medicated, sore, tired, but I've been far worse. Thank you for saving me. You're not sure what else to say, and neither is Mr. Hill. Truth is, when I was lying there, I'd made my peace with it, that it would be the end. If you left me there would have been okay. You have a death wish? But I'd hate myself. That's an ugly fate. You kidding me? I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I did that. Then I congratulate you on being a man of character, and I do sincerely thank you. Why would you tell me something so personal? You don't even know me. I know you're someone who'd save a smelly old stranger from dying. I'd hate to repay you with simple small talk. Hill's speech suggests an education and contains a hint of refinement that you find curious. You ask what his story is. He tells you. Hill was a licensed psychologist who didn't make it because of his speech impediment, with a happy marriage and a brand new home just before 2007 when the housing market collapsed, and he became homeless. He could handle being underwater on his mortgage, but then his employer was dissolved due to fraudulent insurance reimbursements. And his financial planner fled the country after emptying all her clients' accounts. Dr. Hill declared bankruptcy. His wife chose to anchor herself to the bottom of Burke Lake with a cement block. After all that, I came to see that my reality had disappeared. I'd become a visitor in the world that wasn't my own. This life that I've come to have, this life of knowing nothing, it's what feels right for me. I'm content. Encourage him to start over. Respect his choice. Question his sanity. Most people spend their whole lives trying to reach that state of mind. Can't fault you for holding on to it. It's unconventional, to be sure, not something I'd have imagined for myself, but it works, Mr. Fulton. You tell him to call you Aaron, and you talk about his life before and after. About your own life, then and now. Dr. Hill tells you some ways to manage your stress that will lessen your chances of catatonia. His repayment to you, he says. If you're ever in need of anything, Aaron, look me up. I'll be around on the floor, but I need my rest now. On the floor. Of course, Dr. Hill, I'm sorry I didn't try to get your cart back from the man who stabbed you. That wasn't my cart. He didn't take anything from me. I have nothing tangible to take. So he just stabbed you for no reason? Why would he do that? In my educated opinion, he did it because he's nuts. As you leave, you try to get your sweatshirt back, only to discover it was cut open by the doctors and thrown in a medical waste bin. But you're assured by a nurse that your sweatshirt kept Dr. Hill warm and helped avoid further complications. It likely saved his life. You never find the man who callously stabbed Bennett Hill one night for no reason, and it boils your blood. But you do find a therapist, and you find some measure of betterment. At the park, Dr. Hill finishes his curry and turns to inspect you. So, Aaron, how are you liking the FBI so far? It's a challenge, or it feels right, or not much. I thought it's what I was meant to do. Looks like I was onto something. You fill him in on what you're doing in the most general of terms and the broad strokes of the first X-Files. I know a little about that case. People say the victims were frozen to death, made to look like ice statues. That's not public knowledge. In my social circles, word gets around. I assume a lot of the stories are just that until I hear otherwise. Like now. There was a family killed, parents and their children. Dr. Hill falls quietly the way he does whenever he wants to let a thought swirl in the air between you. After your family died, you said you sat down, went hours without moving or thinking. What about this time? I mean, it affected me, but nothing like that. That's good to hear. And what do you think of your killer being an orphan, someone like you? Not at all like me. What he became is tragic. I used that insight. It's what I plugged into when I talked to him into surrendering. That's good. You need to consider what unites you if you're going to understand who these kinds of men are. I see the wisdom in Dr. Hill's words, which cause you to think of the magic bullets. What could be in the heads of the X-Files hackers? Help me understand this. What sort of mind might find value in trading human lives for a dumb prank? Dr. Hill ruminates for a moment. At times like this, you wonder what fascination with his mental process is like, especially with one eye looking one way and the other eye looking the other. It doesn't have to be someone without a conscience, but I do think it would be someone who lives in their own head, or bubble. Someone with ample free time, with the kind of detached privilege that lets them see other people's as things. Thanks. I'd better go. I'm supposed to meet with Pierce. Now that you're in the FBI, do you still feel smothered by Pierce's attention? That feeling hasn't gone anywhere. It even bugs me that I have to go see him today. With all he's done for you, what do you think is at the root of your disdain for Gregory Pierce? He wants to mold me, or he's not my father, or he didn't save my family. I've appreciated his mentorship, but I'm my own person. I think he wants me to be him. My father hoped that one day I would take over his business, a restaurant. He felt betrayed when I didn't. After I paid my student loans and made a success of chosen profession, he was proud of me. It's a lovely day. Spend some time in the sun, meditate on it, and be well. You thank Dr. Hill for his counsel and pay him for his session. He says he's moving to a camp soon. He feels too boxed in at the shelter. You drive to the Pierce Institute with Dr. Hill's words lingering, putting things in perspective. You pay for the parking and enter the plain front door of the brick office building. It's like returning to an old school. You take the elevator, and before the new receptionist can look you up, you're patted on the back and greeted with a smirk. Aaron Fulton, FBI. I hope you're here with a warrant. We need Pierce gone so I can get that one last promotion. Sorry to disappoint you, John. We don't have enough of him yet, but we're getting there. You both smile with ease. Seems he misses your banter as much as you miss his. I hear you're working with Jess Dexler. She's a good one to have at your back. She's great, or she's competent, or we'll see. No, you're absolutely right. Agent Dexler's good people, except for when she sold me out. That she is. Come on, Agent, I'll take you to the boss man. Doggett walks you into the bright and open offices with half-wall cubicles and deeply focused consultants and researchers. You steal a look at your old desk. It remains empty. Doggett knocks on the door to Pierce's office and opens it. I found this guy lurking in the lobby. Could be trouble. Thanks, John. I'll handle this miscreant. You can close the door. Pierce steps around his desk and shakes your hand firmly, his other hand on your shoulder. He beams like a proud father. Have a seat, Agent Fulton. Make yourself at home. You convinced a desperate killer to willingly surrender. I can't tell you how impressed I am. Word's getting around the Bureau that, I might have had a part in that, But anyway, how are you feeling? Good, or relieved to have stopped the murder. Word's getting around? How exactly would you know word's getting around? I talk to feds there, and it's a big part of my job. They're the ones bringing it up. You figure that's probably true, so you offer a nod and let it go. Let me ask you this. What's your take on Skinner? I like him so far. Tough but fair. He's a blowhard. He read us the riot act like I haven't seen in some time, but it wasn't undeserved. He called out what we did well, too. You voice your respect for Skinner. Yeah, he can fly off the handle. All right. Pierce, what are you not telling me? So I know all about the case. Snebberg, the bowling balls, the magic bullets, the hack. Skinner's briefed me on everything. Okay, why are you consulting on that? I mean, tech isn't really the Institute's area of expertise. No, it's not like that. We're not consulting. Not exactly. I want you to hear it from me first, to be prepared. Actually, Aaron, I think you're really going to like this. Special Agent Jess Dexler. I don't like this at all. Senator Knudsen asks me to see her so soon after my first case makes me feel monitored, caged. I already have a boss I answer to, and that's enough, but I dropped by Knudsen's office to oblige her. I promised to keep in touch after all. Agent Dexler, welcome. It's a pleasure to see you. I was surprised to hear from you, Senator. Yes, well, I don't intend to debrief you after every case, if that's your concern. I'm not concerned. What do you want to know? That's relief. To be perfectly honest, I'm glad to hear it. I know you are. Besides, I'm sure you've surmised that I read your reports already with my justice oversight role. I'm privy to all of that, including these asinine hackers and what they've procured from the FBI's computers. This is Walter Skinner's fault. He's asleep at the wheel on a narrow, winding road, Agent Dexler. Skinner's carelessness has led to an unprecedented level of public awareness of the existence of the X-Files. That is no good. In fact, I spoke with him about it myself. I made certain he knows where I stand. My mind reels. The thought of Knudsen and Skinner going head-to-head, it makes me wish I'd been there. Well, we can be. Let's play a Skinner and see how it went down. Assistant Director Walter Skinner. This is gonna hurt. Walter, thank you for coming. Sure, Senator. Always happy to break up my day to take meetings across the mall. Oh my, I'm sure you're quite busy, so I'll get right to the meat of it. Please do. I know you've spoken to Gregory Pierce about current senatorial affairs. Here's my version. I'm in line to become chair of the Judicial Oversight Committee. I want to see the FBI thrive, Walter. I want it to be smart, modern, and secure, and to be so within the radius of its intended reach. My complaints with you have often been of overreach and dangerously unconventional practices, but now we have this data breach. Don't look at me, or we'll handle it, or you're wasting my time. The X-Files are out there with some idiot hackers. I'm confident they can be brought in. They managed to bypass multiple levels of clearance, and I don't think they're the idiots here. It's because of the way you run the X-Files unit that this data was targeted. I know it, and you'd better know it. All due respect, Senator, you don't know what you're talking about. To say you'd be surprised at how much I know would be a massive understatement. Before you ask, no, Jess Dexler is not my source. I've not spoken to her since hiring, and anyway, I don't need her to be. You and your veteran agents have been reckless, insubordinate, and outright defiant for decades. Did you think your actions would never reach the tipping point? You're lucky you aren't being thrown out in your ass. Try it, or it's gonna be okay, or get a grip. Enough with the melodrama. You're a bureaucrat, not my boss. Not if I decide to blur the lines. You're just not going to be reasonable at all. Oh, I think what I've set into motion is quite reasonable. What's more, I think, in the end, you'll see it too. What have you done? Elaine, talk to me. Please, Senator Knudsen, or just Senator will do. I think it's better if we wait for my other guest. You're playing a dangerous game, Senator Knudsen. That's not a threat. It's a warning. While we're waiting, I wonder, how is young Agent Dexler faring? Well, I hope. She has potential. Dexter's green her. I'm done talking. She could have done better for her first time out. Could have done far worse. She'll improve. I'm glad to hear it. She has a good head on her shoulders. Very promising. There's one other item I wanted to bring up with you. As you surely know, I hear things. Chatter among senators and others in power. There's generally little fondness for the FBI these days. But I strongly believe that you and your X-Files unit, which I would like to see continue, are specifically being plotted against. In all seriousness, Walter, watch your back. Nutson's clue. A government plot against the X-Files. 2 people talking in a parking lot and hedge bushes, which are not maintained. Ah, there you are, in perfect timing. Welcome. Who's you? Special Agent Jess Dexler. Oh my god. They're trying to get me to replace him? Senator Knudsen can be imposing, belittling, or just plain mean, but she's been smiling pleasantly at me for a good 15 seconds. I'm considering a good throat clearing when Knudsen ends the awkward silence. I had a sense about you when we first met. You're thorough, focused, brave, and also canny. Aware. Within the X-Files unit, where do you ultimately see yourself? To what role do you wish to ascend? How do you mean, exactly? Say you could be an invaluable asset, like Fox Mulder. You could take Skinner's place, or you could exercise influence more covertly. The 80s top asset, or assistant director, or covert influencer. Jess only cares about being there. She gets to see more stuff as a covert influencer, I suppose. You once told me my knowledge about the Alaska base was political currency. I want more, like you, so I can spend it on the X-Files. Oh, you do? It's a dangerous game, Agent. One requiring guile and rigor. But it's also a delightful game. I could see you playing it. The senator sits back and observes me. At first it feels like we're in a chess match, but then I consider that I'm one of her pieces. There's something you need to know. A development. It's better for you to hear it from me than from Skinner. In light of Skinner's carelessness, the Department of Justice has drawn a contract with the Pierce Institute. Is there not already one? They consult, don't they? Not anymore. In this time of uncertainty and turmoil, it's been determined that the X-Files require an extra layer of scrutiny. From this point forth, the Pierce Institute will oversee Walter Skinner, specifically his work relating to the X-Files unit. More oversight, or I welcome them. Or, is this your doing? Why do I get the feeling that this was all orchestrated by you? The senator reacts with charming yet condescending laugh. That would make me awfully powerful, Agent Dexler. I'm sure you're wondering what this means for you and your partner. Rest assured, your jobs are safe. In fact, I would go so far as to say your jobs are now safer. I come out of the meeting with Senator Knudsen feeling less secure than she'd maybe intended. And I think that's because I haven't digested what's happening, or what I ate for lunch. I keep trying to determine what the Pierce Institute's involvement could really mean, but my head swirls with possibilities as my stomach swirls with shawarma. I can't focus, so I turn to the one person who I know can help work this out. Holy crap, Jess. As far as Caitlin knows, Skinner's competence is in question, and that's it. News of the hack can't get out. A private company is going to oversee part of the FBI. That's crazy. Skinner must have been serious protection to not have just been fired. So if the Pierce Institute's effectively calling the shots now, what will you do? Roll with it, take advantage, or watch my own back. How do you take advantage of the Pierce Institute? Remember what you said about having more influence? If I play my cards right, this can lead to exactly that. Wow, look at you! Just remember, it's a high-stakes game. Make the wrong move and get fired. It'll be the least of your worries. You said your partner's buddy-buddy with Pierce, right? Keep that camaraderie going, because he's got juice. They could put him in charge of me. Or, not a bad idea. Or, I won't use him. Yeah. Whatever. Not a bad idea. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Good call. Wink, wink. So weird, right? It's like I'm actually helpful or something. Your partner probably found out about it before you did. Wonder what he thinks about it. Okay, let's change the subject. Anything, please. We get to talking about Caitlin's latest dating misadventures, but I keep thinking back to the last thing she said. Fulton surely knows about the Pierce Institute by now. He must be pretty excited. Special Agent Aaron Fulton. You're weary, worried. Sure, Pierce told you this is a good thing, but of course he'd say that. And now that you've told her, Stacy worries too. Worries for you. Is that what you wanted? Should you have just kept quiet? Yes? I'm pretty good at what to do. I get offers all the time from other bars. I stay where I am because I like the atmosphere, the co-workers, the regulars. Those things have value, but if I was positive I could make it as a writer, I'd be gone tomorrow and wouldn't look back. Passion's worth more than a lot of things. I know you're passionate about working for the FBI, but are you actually excited about this X-Files thing? I am now, or no, but I can wait it out, or I just want away from Pierce. Ooh. My first case wasn't all that different from what I want to be doing. My partner isn't into behavioral sciences, but other than that, Pierce said himself the words getting out about me, what I did. The first opening that comes along, I can take it and go. Stacy watches you for a moment and presses her lips against your cheek. I think you'll be fine. You'll focus on the work that needs doing, and all the rest of it will happen when it happens. Stacy rises and you follow her to bed. You have to rest up for your return to work. As you try to fade to sleep, the elements at play dominate your mind. Pierce, Skinner, Dexler. With Pierce in your corner, you could boss Dexler around if you wanted. The thought of doing that sickens you, or it's worth keeping in mind, or puts you at ease. The day could come when your career is on the line, when it's you or Dexter. Maybe then. You don't sleep the way you wish you would. You wonder if the nights of restfulness are over. Special Agent Jess Dexler. Thinking about what Caitlin said makes it hard to sleep. I put on a podcast about dead languages to ease my mind. Just as I'm starting to fade, my phone buzzes. A late night text. Could be work, so I roll over and check. What the hell? A video call. It's from 000, the weird number from Colorado. I answer it. A horse head appears before a gray concrete wall. Whatever I was expecting, this isn't it. It's hilarious. Hello, Wilbur. Haha. Probably before your time, Agent Dexler. But I could find a mask of Donkey from Shrek anyway. The caller's voice is disguised, not digitized like magic bullets, but made to sound like a wacky cartoon character. You texted me before? Or, what's this about? Or, you're obnoxious. Or, I lose my number. Okay, pal, it's late. Who are you and why are you calling me? Well, giddy up. Right to the point. No chit-chat for Jessica Dexler, no sir. I happen to know you've been targeted by a nasty bunch of jerk faces who call themselves the Magic Bullets. I know this because I'm responsible for the founding of this group of turds. Then you're a murderer, or you've got some nerve. Keep talking. You obviously have something you want to say. Let's hear it. That Marty Sneberg thing, that was not me, it's the other MPs. They're like homicidal children. I would never do something so cruel, and I wasn't involved in the threat to you and Agent Fulton, or whatever they're planning next. What are they planning? Well, that's what I'm working on, 'cause, believe it or not, I'm on your side. I hate what they've made my group into. So I wanted to introduce myself, and let you know to rest easier, 'cause I'm on the case. Now don't bother the text to trace this call. They won't find anything. I'll be back in touch soon, okay? Who the hell are you? Well, horses like hay, and I'm about to make hay with the MVs for you, so call me Hey Guys. One last thing. Pass this around your leaky offices. I'll know when I won't call again. I only talk to you. Peace out, home slice. Hi-yo, silver away. The call ends. I stare at my phone. I don't realize for how long until the sun starts to rise. And that is X-Files Episode 5. Pierced. Pretty funny way to end it. The guy's like a total, just like someone who runs one of those, like, dark web boards or something. And I guess that's pretty much it for now. You know, like, comment, subscribe, leave a message in the message box down below if you like it. And I'll catch you in the next video.